The greatest science fiction adventure ever told is also a book of timeless wisdom. The knowledge of the ancient prophets, the wandering mystics, the warrior priests, the scientists, the philosophers, the dreamers. It is all here, in Dune. But there is more. Beneath the high adventure and human drama lies a veiled prophecy, a warning from the future. Beneath the drama of politics and greed, power and ecology, love and war, Frank Herbert, author of Dune, is alerting us that a deeper pattern is repeating itself on an intensifying scale. Through the tragic lives of Paul Muad'Dib and his son Leto II, we come to understand that the human species has not yet matured, and that our evolution is still in progress. Through the scheming of House Harkonnen and House Torino, we realize that our consensus reality is out of balance, and that our species' habits have become dangerous. Through the struggles of the Bene Gesserit and the Fedaykin, we grasp that our survival depends on the daily choices we make as individuals. Frank Herbert's Dune inspires us to break past our limits and reach out into a universe filled with danger and possibility, to take the next step in humanity's emergent encounter with infinity. Yet, despite these weighty motifs, Dune is fundamentally a celebration of humanity and of the potential of human consciousness. That ethereal field of perceptions, thoughts, ideas, dreams and emotions, unique in the universe so far as we know, that has emerged into this temporal dimension, and whose power to shape reality is only just beginning to unfold. Join us as we unravel the deep code of Dune. Survival of self, of species and of environment. These are what drive humans. Emperor Leto II, his voice, Dar es Balat. Warner Bros. Pictures' film version of Frank Herbert's epic science fiction novel Dune, slated for October 1st, 2021, has brought renewed focus on the blockbuster novel. Adapted by acclaimed director Denis Villeneuve and starring Timothée Chalamet as Paul Atreides, the movie has been billed as the most authentic screen adaptation to date. First published in 1965, Frank Herbert's Hugo and Nebula award-winning masterpiece has sold over 20 million copies and is considered by many to be the greatest science fiction novel of all time. Herbert originally conceived of Dune as the first part of a trilogy, which was later expanded to a total of 6 books in the original Dune series. Those who have read the book know that Dune is a heroic adventure story filled with sharply drawn characters, exotic planets, intriguing societies, bizarre customs, and compelling beliefs. Political and personal rivalries swirl around the planet Arrakis, also known as Dune, the sole source of the most precious substance in the human universe, the spice melange. In the first book, these conflicts give rise to a messianic figure in the person of Paul Muad'Dib of House Atreides, a lineage whose origins trace back to the Bronze Age of ancient Earth. Paul reluctantly unleashes the power of religious faith to lead a holy war against those who betrayed his father, the Duke Leto Atreides, only to walk away from the imperial throne which he has seized by conquest. Much has been written and said over the years about the power of Frank Herbert's storytelling in Dune, the gripping plot, the rich details, the real-world parallels, and the deep psychology that drives the characters to their fates. It has also been noted that, with its epic action scenes, emotional subplot and complex political machinations, Dune is the template for many modern dramas, from Star Wars to Game of Thrones. In this video series, our goal is to reveal what we will argue are the 3 core themes of Dune, and of the original 6 Dune novels in general. These themes are perhaps best stated by Paul Muad'Dib's eventual son, the Emperor Leto Atreides II, also known as the Tyrants. Survival of self, of species, and of environment. These are what drive humans. In a single sentence, Leto sums up the totality of human concerns throughout our entire history. First, we attend to our personal interests, satisfying our egos, fulfilling our urges, pursuing our goals, expressing our creativity, attracting or overcoming other humans, and above all else, staying alive. Then, we seek what is beneficial for our group, however we define it. Family, tribe, nation, culture, race, or the species itself. we are finely tuned to the expectations of our social networks and acutely concerned with presenting the right image to our community. Third, we are attentive to the integrity and productivity of our environment, whether it is the local plot of land or nearby river, the planetary ocean or atmosphere, or the wider cosmos upon which we are set adrift. Humans are unique in that we are not adapted to one environment. Rather, we can shape the environment to suit our needs, but doing so comes at a cost. The rise of Muad'Dib, the water rituals of the Fedaykin, the demonic designs of the Harkonnen, the discipline of the Bene Gesserit, and even the giant sandworms and shifting sands of Arrakis itself are all manifestations of these three meta-narratives. And in Dune, Frank Herbert wants to show us how our own individual lives are also governed by these same narratives, are also part of the grand saga of discovery, creation and growth, unfolding against a chaotic cosmic background. He's asking us to grapple with the possibilities and the pitfalls of human consciousness, which lurk, like Shai-Hulud, just below the surface of Dune. Several Sandmasters, truthsayers and judges of the change will guide us along our journey, including some of the most insightful minds of the 20th and early 21st centuries. Foremost among these is the popular science writer and former music mogul Howard Bloom. Bloom draws on a wide range of scientific research, including particle physics, microbiology, mimetics and the science of complex adaptive systems, to argue that humanity can be understood as a single organism, and we are its constituent parts. Viewed in this way, it is possible to view our history in new ways, as well as our own individual behaviors. Frank Herbert, an avid student of Carl Jung, explores human group consciousness in Dune in ways that strikingly anticipate Bloom's work. We will also be relying heavily on clinical psychologist and Professor Jordan Peterson's model of the human mind as an ordering mechanism, designed to make a chaotic universe rational through storytelling. This myth-making instinct is what drives us as individuals, motivates our behavior, shapes our cultures, and gives our lives meaning. Herbert's deepest message in Dune is that the potential of human consciousness is unlimited, but that if we are to unlock the most arcane mysteries of reality, we must learn to live with the destabilizing dangers that come with creativity. Jordan Peterson's wide-ranging opus offers us some key insights into this dilemma. And of course, we will also be joined by Frank Herbert, the Kwisatz Haderach of the Dune universe himself, as he shares his philosophy in various essays, articles, interviews, and correspondences relating to Dune. In a 1973 Harper's Magazine article on ecology and other crises of the late 20th century, Frank Herbert wrote, "We are destined forever to find ourselves shocked to awareness on paths that we do not recognize, in places where we do not want to be, in a universe that displays no concern over our distress and that may have no center capable of noticing us." Passages such as this reverberate throughout the Dune books. Things move. It is an ultimate pragmatism in the midst of infinity, a demanding consciousness where you come at last into the unbroken awareness that the universe moves of itself, that it changes, that its rules change, that nothing remains permanent or absolute throughout all such movements, that mechanical explanations for anything can work only within precise confinements, and, once the walls are broken down, the old explanations shatter and dissolve, blown away by the new movements. Leto Atreides II, The Stolen Journals. Consciousness and cosmos are deeply linked in Dune. Order is constantly emerging from chaos, only to fall back into the formless void. We participate in this cycle, but we do so largely in a blind, reactive way that tends to perpetuate dangerous cycles. Being trapped in a cycle is a form of stasis, and stasis equals decline and eventually extinction. Herbert wants us to continue to evolve, to break out of the stasis of endlessly repeating patterns, and Dune is his manifesto. Join us as we explore the mysteries of human consciousness and a fathomless space, and as we celebrate the release of Denis Villeneuve's highly anticipated blockbuster film, and as we savor Frank Herbert's magisterial novels and the deep code of Dune.